Imagine a place where indigenous communities and local communities and universities get together, work together, not only to ensure that the rainforest thrives, but also to learn from it, to actually remember that we are all interconnected.
There are older knowledge carriers, people who grew up in remote areas, who know the forest, know the plants and animals. Part of what heightens the visibility and so the value of a forest are its ability to hold the attention of visitors for longer.
What's really inspiring about this project is we're learning a lot from that knowledge.
It's really important, I think, to be able to connect indigenous knowledge to these other forms of knowledge.
So the X Prize, which we entered into, was trying to find ways of remotely calculating the density of species in any particular region.
This team started relatively small in the place where we have been working for the last 6 years, and then people kept adding, people from robotics and different branch of engineers, sound and all that, and each one bringing a very different perspective.
Working together, it not only had just audios, videos, and image data recorded, they also had DNA sampling and all of that. So it was a full-fledged ecosystem that was being developed for conservation efforts and for monitoring efforts.
All of the sounds that are occurring there, they form an ecology that has a particular character.
Carefully segmented in time, and you could only hear one bird call in each of those sound files, and you train a model on that. But when you test it on the rainforest data, sounds in a rainforest are a cocktail of different sounds all occurring at the same time. You will never have a clean recording of only one bird call that you can apply the AI model to and it gets it right.
And then for me to bring those recordings and those experiences and share them here with students, and to be able to play Ecuadorian soundscapes and soundscapes from Costa Rica and so on in the dome for people to come and experience in full three-dimensional glory, I know has an impact on people. And I know that people come here regularly because they find that positive and they find that enriching in their lives.
So how is all this done? We have implemented, or we are actually now implementing, bioeconomic model that centers on the needs of the people who live in and who protect and care for the Amazon rainforest.
And so these recorders were actually used in Ecuador and produced the recordings that we used that got us through into the semi-finals.
The focus on using advanced AI machine learning tools on this data that they were collecting in rainforests, which was very unique. It's very rare to get interesting data like that, which is in the field from a rainforest, which is aligned with biodiversity, eco-conservation, goals.
So if you think about immersive technologies in general, they're affective in ways that maybe like a film can't be, because they're embodied, right? They're putting you actually in a place where you can be part of the change. So in a film, it's flat. I kind of sit, I watch, it tells me a message, and I have to agree or disagree with it. These technologies are very different fundamentally in their form, where I'm embodying the experience that is that space. It's also interesting to think about how a project so local can scale globally, even in its production.
It really provides a way of quantifying the impact of government action on helping rainforests, and also gives a way of quantifying any degradation in their health. So that will have long-lasting impacts. That will influence policy, that will influence how government funding is used for specific actions, but all of it really starts with measuring and quantifying the health of a rainforest.